first of all, I want to just take a moment to acknowledge your journey and what you're going through. Every single night, I include all parents in waiting as a part of my daily prayer. I know what you've been through. It is a tough journey. It's so hard. You feel like you're alone, but you're not alone. And I love you. I support you. If you ever need just somebody to talk to or vent to, please always reach out to me. I would love to be there and support you. So I felt the same way when I was going through my infertility treatments and my journey to discovering why I was infertile and what was going on. I felt like everybody around me was like getting pregnant and I didn't understand why or how. And I just was like quietly just dying inside, to be quite honest with you. And then at some point I was like, you know what? I'm going to get loud about this because I was sick and tired of just feeling all of this shame balled up inside of me. So I started telling people. I started saying, my husband and I are trying to get pregnant. We've been going through this for a while now. This is kind of where we're at in our journey. This is what we're doing. And the amount of women that came forward in my life to share their own struggles was, it was honestly crazy to me. And then when I did finally get pregnant, I was very open. A lot of people were like at the time I had just started a new job. And so I had a lot of people that were like, oh, that's amazing. Great. You get a new job and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And I'm like, yeah, I've actually been trying to get pregnant for 3 years now. So this is sort of unplanned, unexpected miracle. And I was very, very open about that with literally everybody. And as a result of that, a lot of women at my new job that didn't know me personally, but knew of what I was going through or what I went through and got pregnant, they would come forward and hey, I heard that you struggled getting pregnant for a few years. I'm currently trying to get pregnant and I'm struggling. 5 women at my office were going through this. And they all sat with me individually and talked to me about their struggles and kind of their shame and the guilt and how they were feeling. And I just supported them and showed them love. And then guess who was one of the first 5 people to find out that they were pregnant? Me, because we had built this bond and this connection over walking through this period of life. And they just didn't feel like they had anybody that they could talk to about it. And I just so disagree with that. We as women should be there for each other. I think that infertility is not a shameful topic. I think that it's just a part of our journey to become parents. And the more that we are allowed to not talk about it or bring it up to the surface, just makes it more and more shameful. And it brings more and more just feeling of unworthiness to women. But I feel if we could talk about it more and we could support each other and know, I think it's 1 in 8 women will struggle. If we could just bring that to the surface, then we know oh, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. It's not just me. For so many years I thought God just doesn't want me to be a mom. I'm just not worthy of being a mother. I can't provide this to my husband. And that is not true. That's not true. The way that I deal with things is through my dark humor. So when we were going through our infertility, I would always joke about babe, can you remember that one time we were only dating for 6 months and we ran out to get a pregnancy test and we were all worried because we thought I was pregnant? Or hey babe, think of all those years and all that money we spent on condoms and birth control. Didn't need those, that's just how I dealt with my shame and guilt. That's how I dealt with it. And that's how I deal with everything. I just like to make jokes about things. That's just, I don't know. That's just how I am. I have a dark sense of humor. I always say my motto in life is we laugh to keep from crying.